Welcome to the City Manager's Report. The City Manager's Report is your preview of the next Oshkosh Common Council meeting agenda and an update from your Oshkosh City Manager. Your hosts, Emily Makowski of Oshkosh Community Media and City Manager Mark Roloff.
Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us on your City Manager's Report, your source for all the local hot topics as well as a preview of the upcoming City Council meeting agenda. I'm your host, Emily Makowski, joined as always by your City Manager, Mark Roloff. So without further ado, welcome Mark, and thanks for joining us today.
Great to be here, Emily.
So we're going to go ahead and dive into our hot topics for the first half of today's show, take a little break, and then we will return with this week's upcoming City Council meeting agenda for Tuesday, October 13th. So Mark, first one that we want to talk about is from earlier this week on Tuesday, you were riding around on a Go Transit bus in honor of Wisconsin Transit Week. So
right, there was a purpose for me riding on the bus.
You weren't just playing hooky from work and riding the bus.
No, we were calling it City Hall on Wheels because we wanted to make people aware of the importance of transit for not just Oshkosh, but for the entire state of Wisconsin. So we were doing a promotion with other communities throughout the state, and every city did a little different spin on what they were doing, but we really wanted to talk to riders about why they ride Go Transit, and really just to emphasize the importance of transit systems in Wisconsin. And then for us to find out why is it important for people in Oshkosh.
Yeah, it was a great opportunity for you to get out there and talk to some of the riders about why they ride the bus. It was really fun to have conversations. I know we saw a little guy on there. They were going to Walmart to get a Halloween costume, and it was just really cool for you and the mayor to get out and talk to people, hand out some goodie bags, as you can see.
Well, yeah, Dave Vickman, our transit manager, gave me something for an icebreaker as people got on the bus because they're like, who's this guy? So we have our Go Transit promotional grocery bags. And when you find out about how many people use Go Transit to go shopping, actually, it was an awesome giveaway.
It was, yeah, definitely. We even had a guy that came on the bus that already had a Go Transit bag, so they're getting used, and it's a great thing.
It was a great icebreaker for people. And then the other one, the real popular one, where there are a lot of people who have transit passes, and one of our other little giveaways was a place where you could hold your transit pass. A lot of the riders said, oh, I could use that for my transit pass. So you got an idea of that number of people use transit on a regular basis because they have a transit pass. But it's interesting, some fun facts that we've learned over doing our research for this week. Wisconsin, there's 81 transit systems in Wisconsin. And of course, we keep talking about what about Oshkosh. We had over 1 million rides last year. And I found this out by talking to people, and the stats pointed out 48% of the riders use Go Transit to go to work. So that's pretty significant. Another 23% are education. I expect that number to go up because we just entered into a new agreement with Fox Valley Technical College. So both the Technical College and UW Oshkosh both have passes for their students. But people use it for shopping, as we learned. People use it for recreation, medical appointments. There are plenty of people using it for a variety of purposes, and it just shows that a lot of people use it. A lot of the working poor use it, and it's really important to them for them to get to work. And of course, people use it. They do a bike ride to the bus. I found out, and I didn't know this stat. 10,000 rides last year involved the bike. That's a full 1% of our bus rides involve bike to the bus stop and then put your bike on the rack.
Yeah, so they're definitely taking advantage of the bike racks on the front of the bus. And we went on the bus, it was mid-morning, I think it was, and there was a lot of people. So a lot of people think that the big rushes are during, obviously in the beginning of the day and the end of the day. But there was a consistent amount of people getting on and off throughout the morning. So it was a great opportunity to see that.
You hear a lot about criticisms that the bus is never full. Well, I will tell you that our water system isn't used at peak capacity every moment of the day. Our sewers aren't used at peak capacity. Our streets, at 2 a.m, there aren't a lot of people on the streets, but we need to build it for maximum capacity. And at 9 o'clock in the morning, after rush hour, the buses that the mayor and I rode we're, I would say, about 50% capacity. We, because we were there, probably took it near to full capacity, but half the bus was full. So I think there's a lot of misconceptions about we don't have enough people riding the bus, but 1 million rides can't be wrong.
Yes. So great chance to celebrate Wisconsin Transit Week. We got a few days left in the week that you can still kind of celebrate and bring awareness to Wisconsin transit systems. Check out our Twitter page for some selfies from City Manager Mark Roloff and Mayor Cummings. And if you'd like, you can also post a selfie to Twitter with hashtag Wisconsin Transit, that's WI Transit, and you can win a gift card to Amazon. So it's a great chance to get out there and build awareness. It was a great day.
I'm not eligible for that, so I'm a little bummed out.
Unfortunately not.
I'm not eligible, so
yes.
You can do a selfie, you might be a winner on that.
So next thing we want to talk about, some more exciting news here in Oshkosh, Mark, is the Uwl Chancellor Installation. It was a little while ago. It's been a little while since we had a city manager's report, but you actually had the honor of getting up on stage with the Chancellor and being in the ceremony. So before the ceremony even started, I actually had a chance to pull him aside before everyone else got to him and have a few words with him. So let's go ahead and see what his thoughts were before he got on stage.
We're here at EAA, and I can't think of a better place in the community to be in terms of bringing the community and the university together. This is a huge day, certainly not only for the institution, but for me personally. Being installed as the 11th Chancellor is a humbling honor. I love Oshkosh. It's the people, the place, it's such an amazing community. It's everything that I could have hoped for.
So nothing but good things to say about Oshkosh, really.
And it really points out the whole university community collaboration, and we're really happy to be proud of it, happy to be invited, a very symbolic gesture. And of course, Mayor Cummings was also invited, and he was asked to speak. Mm-hmm. And it was really nice that they extended that invitation to him as well.
Mm-hmm. And a big focus on what Mayor Cummings talked about while he was speaking at the installation ceremony was cooperation with the university and how much that's been built over the years. And it wasn't always there, that communication, and we're very happy with where we've come with the university in that aspect. One of those collaborations is the rental inspection program that he talked about. That's a big project that we're working on with the university, as well as other collaborations.
Well, sure, the Best Western Hotel was a key part of that. It was the university foundation, but it was still the university, and other projects that we've worked on, and the mayor highlighted a lot of those, and I think that just shows that the connection between the university and the community, we really do need to collaborate on issues, because there are issues of citywide concern that involve the university and issues of university concern that involve the city. So we really do need to work together on those types of issues.
Mm-hmm. So wonderful ceremony. It was great to be there. Other collaboration efforts that we've been talking about a little bit, and this is kind of a seasonal one, is the upcoming pub crawl, the looming pub crawl. And you've actually been in conversations with the university about the police coverage.
The police coverage is an issue because in addition to the pub crawl event that is going on Main Street, the university recognizes that part of the day on pub crawl day does also extend into the university area. And we're working together to do things to minimize the impact on the neighborhoods, because you have a lot of the university housing that are in residential neighborhoods, and that negatively impacts the neighborhood, and the university recognizes that, and we've looked for ways to minimize the impact on the neighborhoods, and so we're very appreciative of that.
Mm-hmm. And so there's been a lot of conversations in the past about reimbursement for the extra services that the police department is giving. So is UWO going to be reimbursing the city for those extra services?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we had a conversation shortly after Chancellor Levitt started, and as a result of those discussions, we mutually agreed that the university would pay for the extraordinary police services that are provided in the immediate university area, Wisconsin Avenue area, mm-hmm. because we recognize that is also an impact on our services. It's not just what happens on Main Street. So the Main Street organizers, we're holding them responsible there on Main Street, and over by the university has stepped up and said we will agree to pay those charges so that the residents, the taxpayers of our city are not paying for that service. And I think that just goes to show what type of collaboration level we've reached with the university.
Yes, just one of the many great examples of the relationship with the university and the city. So we're very happy about that. And then one last thing that we want to talk about here is kind of a seasonal one. It's leaf pickup. That time of year already. It starts October 12th. And your collection day will be the day after your regular garbage collection day.
No change. It's just, if your garbage day is on Thursday, it'll be Friday. It just works through that. And a couple things we ask people to do, to rake your leaves onto your terrace. Please don't put them into the street, because the street actually is a little bit dangerous, because what kid doesn't love to play in leaves? We don't want them on the street. And they also clog up our storm sewer drains, which could cause flooding over the winter. So our folks will be out there. We know that they're not doing a lot right now because the leaves haven't really gone down falling just yet. But we want to let people know that right now, loose leaf collection ends the week of November 16th to 20th. We'll probably, if we change that, we'll let people know.
Yeah, there's some wiggle room in that depending on the season.
But leaves, after we stop doing it, leaves are going to be picked up in biodegradable bags, and they'll be picked up the week of December 7th through 11th.
Great. So get those leaves out on the terrace, and I always love watching that video of the truck coming and picking up the leaves. It's always fun to watch for me. So again, starts October 12th, the day after your collection day. So now it's that time of the show where viewers have the chance to ask their city manager anything they want about things that are happening in our city. So let's go ahead and see what the question mark question is this week. So Mark, the question this week is, why doesn't Go Transit provide night services? And this is, a good connection to our bus ride earlier this week.
Yeah, unfortunately, we got several of those questions while we were on our City Hall on Wheels bus ride.
We did.
But we didn't get it on camera, so we weren't able to do maybe a video question mark. But it really comes down to cost. We know that there is a demand for it, that we've heard from people, especially working poor, people who work in our industrial parks, even retail, that want to work into the evening, but sometimes they can't because they don't have transportation to and from work. A lot of people work second shift, have transportation to work, but not home. But it really comes down to cost, because obviously it is off-peak. And so we don't have as many people. It's something that I think we need to look at. We will be updating our transit development plan in the next year or two, and we'll take a look at the feasibility of that. We're going to have to talk to employers, have to think outside the box in terms of, can we do something besides a normal route type of bus? Other communities have experimented with it, and I think it's something we want to look at, but it's got to be cost effective, and right now we're not there. So I ask people to be patient and let them know that we're at least continuing to look at it for the future.
Great to know. So you're aware of the problem, and it's one of those kind of stay tuned type of questions. So if you like to send a question to Mark for question mark, simply send it to questionmark@ci.oshkosh.wi.us, and he'll answer it on the next episode of City Manager's Report. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, we'll dive into the City Council meeting agenda for Tuesday, October 13th. We'll be right back.
If you have expired or unused medication, don't flush it, pour it down the drain, or toss it in the trash. Safely dispose of unwanted or expired medications at the drug drop box located inside the Oshkosh Police Department. It's convenient and anonymous, safe and secure, and it's open to everyone 24/7. Drop off your prescriptions, over-the-counter drugs, pet meds, and more. Keep drugs out of the reach of children and out of our water supply. Dispose of unwanted or expired medications at the drug drop box. For more information, visit the Oshkosh Police Department website at oshkoshpd.com.
Welcome back to your City Manager's Report. Thanks again for joining us. I'm your host, Emily Mikowski, joined by your City Manager, Mark Roloff. And now it's that time of the show. We're going to go ahead and look at the City Council meeting agenda for Tuesday, October 13th, 2015. So Mark, first thing that we want to talk about is an introduction of city staff, a little bit of promotion. Her name's Kathy Snell at the Senior Center, being promoted to our Special Events Coordinator. A
very familiar face, especially if you are somebody who goes over to the Senior Center on a regular basis. Kathy Snell has been working over there for several years now. You've probably seen her at events over at the Senior Center, but we recognize Kathy's skills, and we wanted to kick it up a level with to be our Special Events Coordinator.
So what exactly does this position entail? What kind of special events is she going to be coordinating?
This is a brand new position, and it's funded with room tax dollars because we feel that our reputation as Wisconsin's event city brings some responsibility from the city standpoint. And what we've done is created this position to make sure that all the activities that require city services associated with special events, whether it's EAA or Sawdust Days or Country USA, which isn't in the city but requires a lot of coordination on our part. Any special event that is involved, we want to make sure that the event organizers have it run as smooth as possible from the logistical standpoint with the city. We want to make sure that it's safe and fun for everybody who goes to the event, and the coordinator is going to make sure that all those little details that are needed to get these events going get done on a timely basis. Ever since we adopted the special event ordinance a few years ago, this has been done by a committee, and the committee is very helpful, but we still need somebody to sit there and get the details, dot the I's, cross the T's, make sure that follow-up's done. Also holding event organizers responsible. If they say they're going to do something, somebody making sure that those things are getting done.
Following up,
doing all those things necessary so that the event's safe and fun for everybody. And Kathy's a very well-organized person, and that's why we selected her for this position. So looking forward to events being just very smoothly run, and when they're smoothly run, then it makes people want to come back, makes them more successful. That's what it's all about.
Well, we're very happy for Kathy, and we're looking forward to working with her as our Special Events Coordinator. Next item we want to talk about is item number 7, Resolution 15-440, approve agreement for paratransit services for non-ambulatory persons for transit to Running Incorporated. So maybe you can first give us an idea of what exactly this item is.
I didn't realize the show was turning into a transit episode.
It's a transit-themed show today.
It kind of is. Paratransit, it's something that we're required to do by federal law. According to federal disability guidelines, if we provide transit to the general public, we have to provide a similar type of paratransit service. This service is for non-ambulatory people who are in wheelchairs and things like that, and it's a shared ride taxi where we pick them up in vans, make sure whether it's in wheelchairs or even a gurney type of situation, we pick them up. That's required by federal law. We have not gone out to bid for this service in a number of years. Quality of service is as important as the price of service, and we evaluated it, and Running Incorporated is a company that has statewide presence. They also have some presence in the Fox Valley area right now, and we're going to switch over to them as of January 1. We believe it'll provide a better level of service for our non-ambulatory transit riders, and we did receive input from them as we were evaluating proposals, and we think this is the right move to improve that level of service.
Excellent. Well, we're looking forward to the good customer service and the new people doing that. So coming in January 1st, I think you said. So
Yep.
Looking forward to it. Next item we want to talk about, Resolution 15-443, is to approve the intergovernmental agreement between the Whitman Regional Airport, or Winnebago County, and the City of Oshkosh for installation, maintenance, and operation of a storm sewer. And I initially thought that this was dealing with the new business park going in, but it's actually something completely different.
No, this is on the far north end of the airport, right along 20th Avenue. Right now, we're not in a position to tear up 20th Avenue and put some storm sewer in. So the airport and us are working cooperatively to use this area for storm sewer. This is technically called Glatz Creek. You get a lot of water runoff from the airport, and If you live in that area, you know how bad 20th Avenue can get during storm events. It floods terribly. This will help provide some relief to get the water out of the airport area, prevent it from going on to 20th, and get over to all those storm sewers that we constructed just east of Oregon, leading out to the lake. Again, it's Glatz Creek. We know that this will help that area, and we entered into agreement because we're taking away some land from the airport that they would normally lease out. So we've reached an agreement on how much we'll pay them for that lease service, and also recognize that we charge them a lot of stormwater fees. So this is sort of a reinvestment of the monies that they pay to us to address stormwater.
Great. Well, I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to that improvement in the stormwater in that area, especially.
Anybody living north of 20th, around Jacob Shapiro School, east of there, they will see some significant improvement as a result of this.
Wonderful. Next item, we want to talk about approved professional service agreement with AECom to prepare construction drawings and environmental oversight for the Geldwin Riverwalk area from Oregon Street to the Boatworks property. And this is kind of an area we've been talking about a little bit. It's definitely in the future here, but I guess the first question is, do we have the money in place currently to start this project?
We don't have the money in place. This actually sets us up to qualify for grants. And so the graphic that you have here, what section of the Riverwalk is it this time we're talking about? This is the one on the south side in dark blue. This is immediately west of Oregon Street and east of where we are just finishing up that one segment of the Riverwalk. The area in red that you see there, that's going to be 2016, but the area in blue, we anticipate it'll be 2017 when we get this done. But we have to qualify for a grant first. If we can get our ducks in a row, so to speak, that will help us, because the area, now we've got a video of it so you can really see what it is. It's the old Geldwin site, but you can see that we want to be able to get this ready for development, and getting the Riverwalk there is going to be a great amenity to attract investors and people interested in perhaps living over there. So this is the area that has the bridge. It ends over where that bridge we just put in, and we'll continue to work east from the bridge over to Oregon Street. So we're very excited about this, but you gotta get your advance work done. Drawings, environmental oversight, all those things are done, and they're reimbursable under the grant if we can get successful. We've been very successful, so we invest a little bit in advance and get a payback.
Yes, and that's a good example and a good explanation for why we've been so successful is those people that are working for this have been this far ahead prepared for these grants, and they've been receiving a lot of grants. So when are you thinking ideally this will be started, this portion?
I like to believe it's going to get done in 2017, but it depends on when we get grant approval. If we didn't get grant approval, we'd probably wait, but our optimism tells us that we're going to get a notice of award sometime in 2016. We'll get the works, then we will have already had some work done. Construction in 2017. Cross your fingers.
Wonderful. Looking forward to it. In that case, get out there and check out the new railroad bridge as well, because it's just amazing. So I encourage everybody to get out there and take a look. Next item we want to talk about, Mark, is approval of a special event. That's for the Oshkosh Chamber of Commerce to utilize Main Street for the holiday parade coming up on November 12th, 2015. And this year's theme is Surf, Sand, and Santa. So it's kind of a fun little theme, and hopefully the weather won't be as cold as it was last year, so they can get their leis and their hula skirts out.
Well, you never know, but this special event, we're one of the earlier holiday parades. The Chamber puts this on November 12th, so you never know what the weather's going to be like. Yeah, last year it was really cold. We've had different events, but it's a wonderful event for families to come down. The business community sponsors so many of these floats. They do a great job, a lot of nonprofits. A lot of volunteer work goes into this. So put on your calendar for November 12th, and it'll be a fun event for everybody.
Yes, and if you're unable to make the parade, we do cover it on CATV2. Myself and Jeff Thorkeldson will be announcing the parade as it goes by. So if you're unable to make it or you don't want to sit out in the cold, tune into CATV2 for that. Mark, next item we want to talk about is Resolution 15-460, and that's approved Millers Bay Neighborhood Plan. And this is a great piece of news. It just shows the neighborhoods are moving forward, different things, and maybe you can give us a little bit of background on this one.
every neighborhood we encourage to work on a plan that they mutually agree to. So you see on our map here of all the different neighborhoods. Millers Bay is kind of the north end of Menominee Park that jets out a little bit. Been a very active neighborhood, doing a lot of work on some improvements over at Emmeline Cook School, and they use some of their funds to put in a playground, cooperating with the school district, leveraging school district money with the neighborhood money to get this done. They've been active in organizing events to get the neighbors together, and now it's like, what do we want to envision the future of our neighborhood? And that's what the plan is, and we want to encourage so many more neighborhoods to do it. We've got a lot of neighborhoods. They're primarily on the north side. I'd like to see some get developed on the south side, and that's going to be an initiative we're working on. But it's great to see neighbors getting together, really setting a vision for their future, and that collaboration and engagement from the public just helps make our community so much better. And I'm so excited to have Millers Bay get their plan done, but also all of our neighborhood associations do that.
Yeah, great news. As you can see from the map, there's quite a few neighborhood associations, but there's also quite a few areas that are open that have the opportunity to create a neighborhood association and develop a neighborhood plan. And you know, communities over at Oshkosh North, we've been hearing a lot about them. They've kind of taken a stake in this project here and tried to learn a little bit more about communities and neighborhoods, what they mean to them, and they've kind of put together a little project. So they had an event not too long ago trying to get the word out and talk to the community about that.
The students were given an assignment to identify their neighborhood, and it's all about neighborhood identity. So each of these students took time to identify what their neighborhood, what they define their neighborhood as, what common features there are, what benefits, maybe drawbacks, and then they made presentations. And so they did this presentation over at the Waters, and I was so impressed with the knowledge that they've gained about their neighborhood and the fact that they're really starting to understand the importance of taking ownership of their neighborhoods. And you know, you can say what you want. Oh, the future's is terrible. Kids aren't what they used to be. If kids are like these kids at the Oshkosh North Communities Program, we have a bright future.
We've got nothing to worry about if they're like them. And
nothing to worry about at all.
Yeah, they've done a great job. Liz Williams and Shelley Reinke in the Community Development and Planning Department have done a great job working with the community's kids. I was at the event. I've been working with them. They're just amazing kids, and they really knew their stuff. So don't discredit them because they're in high school, because they're doing an awesome job. Check them out on Facebook at Communities at Oshkosh North. See what they're up to. Mark, last thing that we want to cover here is the budget workshops that are upcoming. It's that time of year. We got a couple of long ones coming up on the 20th and the 21st.
Yes, we do. Well, the budget will be delivered to the council at the council meeting next Tuesday, and they got a week to absorb it, everything. But the council asked to do all-day workshops rather than evening workshops to give a little more energy to it. So 2 all-day workshops from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Tuesday and Wednesday, October 20th and 21st. Departments will make their presentations. Councils, they have regular jobs for a living. Mm-hmm. They're taking 2 days off of work or whatever they got going on to come to listen to department heads and really go get engrossed in what's going on with the budget for 2016. We're very happy to work with them on that, and next week you'll see the budget and hear about the details. Yes,
it's a big day, and we will be covering it on City Cable 10, so you can watch it live or check our schedule for replays of those budget workshops, again on the 20th and the 21st. So that's going to do it for this episode of City Manager's Report. Mark, I'd like to thank you once again for joining us. It's always great to go over the agenda and see what's going on in our city.
It's always fun.
Again, the City Council meeting is this Tuesday, October 13th at 6 p.m. You can watch it live on City Cable 10 and on our website at oshkoshcommunitymedia.org, or you can listen to it on the radio at 101.9 WOCT, which is also online and on the TuneIn Radio app for mobile devices. Don't forget to like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter for all your community and government programming updates, or you can check out our YouTube channel for government meeting replays and past episodes of your favorite programs. Don't forget, if you have a question for City Manager Mark Roloff, you can email it to questionmark@ci.oshkosh.wi.us, and he'll answer it on the next episode of your City Manager's Report. As always, thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.